Alright, how's it going, everyone? Justin with Sweet Stingers. It's March 8th, it's a beautiful day. We're out here, we're setting some of our swarm traps up. So I was just going to show you how we do it, what we look for, how we set them up. And maybe you guys can catch some bees, get some little tips and stuff. So we will get right to it. Let's take a look. Alright, so we use nuke boxes. We have stands that we build. We also hang them onto a tree. We'll show you both ways. We set them up the exact same way though. So what we do is we set them up for how we're going to run our hives. So we have a feeder in here. We give it some empty frames. We use foundationless, and we also give a nice old brood comb right here. Just a old brood comb that's in the bottom box. There's another one, so we have that one wired up. So that's in the bottom box. So what we're wanting to do is, if we catch one, then we will remove it and we'll take it back to one of our yards. So we have our entrances on here with the thing, a bottom board. This is a stand. We have it braced up with some poles. We use T-posts down here to secure it in the back. Real easy stand to do. If you use T-posts instead of putting them on the tree, I suggest using the thicker T-posts. They do better. And we just brace the front right here with the thing. So we use 2 5 frames, 5x5. I think they do better. But you can use a 10 if that's what you have. In the top box, it's basically the same thing. Another frame drawn. This one has food in it. The bees around here are going to rob it out. That's fine. Get them a little interest in them. Another empty frame. Swarms love to draw comb. They're primed for it. If you have another, just depending on your resources that you have available, and there's another comb, another empty frame, and a partial frame that they have started drawing. So that is what we have in our hives, and that's how we set them up. And we will use a bait. Alright, so we'll use, like I said, a bait. So that's how we set up our boxes. And then we'll use this. You can either use some lemongrass oil, you can make up a queen mix, dead queens that you don't like, and some alcohol, and it makes up a nice swarm lure as well. So what we do is, you can take a Q-tip, you can take a cotton ball, whatever you have on hand. I use just what we have for the beetle. We use in the beetles, these little Swiffer sheets. That's usually what I have in my truck. Excuse it, I'm trying to, let me set this down, hold on. Okay, so just tear you off a square, whatever you have. I need to get my tripod. And then you just open up a little, whatever your bait is that you want to use. Just a little bit on this, a couple drops. We add a drop here on the top, maybe in the back. A little goes a long way. You don't want to over bait these. They will be turned off by it. So you can put too much on here. So what we do is we will come in here, we'll take the swab, we'll go around our entrance just a little bit, around that one, around this one here, and then we just dump it down in here. Just like that. All right, then we take our other box, Alright, so we take our other box, set it up on top. So if we catch one in here, what we'll do is we will split these two off, we're hoping, and stuff, and we'll start two new nukes out. We take our lid, put it on top, and then we will run a strap over it, just like that. So we'll run a strap over it and get it secured in here. So that's how we set up our nukes for swarm traps. That's how we set up our swarm traps. So we use, like I said, a 5/5 nuke. I think they just do better. I think the bees' natural tendency is just to build in smaller boxes and go up. But a 10 frame box is also a good size, I've heard, to catch swarms. So we will give you some tips in just a minute. Let me get everything strapped down. Hold on. All right, so there you go. It's all strapped down, secured. It's not going to go anywhere, and hopefully we catch a swarm. So swarm trapping. All right, so swarm trapping is a lot like fishing. The more poles you got in the ground, the better you're gonna, or in the water, the better you're gonna do. But there's a couple of things that you can do to help your odds. So one is putting out the traps, getting comb in here, drawing comb if you have it. The nice dark brood comb is what they like. Baiting it with something. There's a couple of different commercial type brands out there, but lemongrass oil or the queen tincture works very well. If you don't want to buy a commercial made product, they do well. You want to face it southeast, the entrances. Bees prefer that. You don't want an overly large box. I probably wouldn't do like 2 doubles or 2 10 frame, like a double hive. That's just too big. Swarming bees want to make sure that they have room, but if you make it too small, like just a one frame box, you know, especially even further up north, it's going to deter the bees from coming in. Do not use too much lemongrass oil either for your bait, so keep it at a minimal. You want to check it a couple, maybe once a month, every other week maybe. Rebait it if it's a lot of rain. No big deal. You want to see if there's bee activity. So in order to catch bees, you got to make sure the bees are here. One way you can do that is setting out some hummingbird feeders. A simple syrup solution will help you determine if bees are around the area. Dr. Seeley, Thomas Seeley, goes into this with, I believe it is Chasing the Honeybees or something. I'll have to look up the title. I can't remember what book it is, but he talks about doing this. There's also a book called like Hunting Honeybees and stuff. It goes into this too. So they take hummingbird feeders, they put them out in fields around where they think their swarm traps are going to go around now, and if there's honeybee activity around, they will come to those feeders. And you can track them down. You can get really technical about it, putting whiteout dots on them and stuff like that, and really try to locate the bee tree or where they're coming from. But that way that helps your odds, knowing that you have activity here. So it doesn't matter how many you put out. If you don't have bees around, obviously you're not going to catch any. So you don't want to just randomly go about doing it. There is some thought behind it. So if you're in a big populous bee state, Texas, Florida, Georgia, California, probably, there's bees all around. But here in Oklahoma, we don't have bees like that, just in all areas and stuff. So we have to take a little bit more time to go out there and look to see if we got bees in that area that we want to put swarm traps. Another thing is, most of the swarm traps are going to be on private land, so obviously make sure that you have permission from the landowner. Don't just start sticking random traps out there. We mark all our hives, they have all our information on it, but we also do it on private property, and we have permission from the landowner. We burn the inside of our hives. I don't. All right, so here's a look at the inside of our hives. How we do it? We just burn it. Just take a torch and just burn all the insides out and stuff. So I don't know if this helps or not. My grandfather always done it, and so that's what we do. But I've heard that bees like when lightning hits a tree or something, they like that burnt cavity. And I've also heard it helps mask the new smell of hives. If you don't have a bee in it, it can help with packages staying too, so there's not that whole scent of paint and primers and glue. You know, it's a burnt smell, burnt wood smell. So we do burn the inside of our hives. It's just something that I've always done. It's just the way I was taught. And you know, like I said, I don't know if it does any up your chances any better or not, but hey, you know, if it works, it works. So we know that there's bees out here in this area. We've actually caught bees here in this spot for the last 4 years. We have hives out here as well, but I don't think they're coming from our hives. I believe there's some wild hives out here. So what we do is we look for a good, as you can see, this is kind of in the opening, but we'll pan around. It's in the woods, but it's easy access. They can find it, so they have easy landmarks to get around. So that's how we want to do, and I'll show you how we set them up on a tree, and we do the same thing. We look for the same thing. So let's go over to the one we have on a tree, and we'll show you that one. All right, how's it going, everyone? So we're right back. We're still on the same property. We're down a ways. I don't put them on top of each other. So here is our swarm trap in a tree right there. So as you can see, I don't stick mine up really tall. It's manageable for me. This one has a typical bottom entrance in it, but it's baited the same way, set up the exact same way. I have our little dab of lemongrass oil. We're going to rub it on here, and then all we're going to do is just push that back in there just like that. We'll find a stick. Find a stick right quick. Alright, we'll find a stick right quick, and we're going to set that one. I like to kind of keep it in the back. It'll come off my thing. Alright, so there, that one is baited. Now we're going to come in here. I'll put a entrance reducer, and I'll only have a little gap right here. That's about that big for 1 or 2 bees to go into and stuff. So we'll get that gap, but it's set up the exact same way, strapped to a tree. It's just our little stand that we build. They're real simple to do. We use like a 2x6 pressure treated and build them. You can also put one that's on the hive, drill a hole in it, hang it from a limb. You can go up as high as you want. Some people will put them way up there. I mean, way at the top of the tree, 30-40 feet and stuff, but I don't do that. We do it just for fun. My kids like to do it. Like I said, I'm not a real big trapper, but it is fun. I set them up for a couple of properties, see what's around. I like the diverse genetics, see what's out here, if there's any wildness to the bees. So that's what we do, but that's how we set up our traps, and how we place them. So we'll set up probably, I don't know, 15-20 this year. We're doing them all right now. According to my notes, the first swarms of last year were right around March 12th, 15th, and so we are getting them out a little bit early. Now with the weather that we just came from, I don't think they're going to be swarming quite as early, but you never know. So spring is here. They're definitely in build-up mode, and they're being productive. So we'll come back and we'll check later, see if we got some activity, and when we do, we'll show you this, the activity, them scouting it out. So it's been about 4 hours since we set this up, and already have activity on this one. I have no idea if these are from the hives that I have out here, or if they are from ones that are in the wild out here, but we know both exist. But there is a good bit of activity going in. So right now they're probably just robbing it out, checking it out and stuff, but it gets noticed, and they will take what they're learning back to their colony, and if they get into a swarming mode, then they might just pick it. Alright, just wanted to show you, if you got bees around, they find them very quick. Hopefully we're successful, and hopefully you guys are too. Use some tips. Any questions, give us a ask us any questions and stuff. We'll try to help you out. That's what we're here for. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, where we keep them pretty active as well. So we will get some more videos up as the season gets going. I appreciate you guys watching. Happy hunting. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.